it's like I was thinking of like Kobbie Mainoo. Now, I hate saying it, but I'm like, now we've got to put this spotlight on him. Can we get the spots off him so
Yeah.
he can just make mistakes and like be 18? I watched the Netflix documentary about Man City winning
Yeah.
the treble, and I was really fascinated by Scott Carson because I was like, obviously, I was like, that must be maddening, kind of not playing. But then, have you seen the documentary?
Yeah. Well, I'm about halfway through it, I think. I'm on episode 3.
And I was like, I really got why he stayed. I don't know if this is just, but he's almost a coach as well, isn't he? Like
Yeah.
he was like, he was a sort of one of the leaders in the dressing room. And I was
Yeah. And
like, oh, right, that's quite cool. I was like, oh, I get it now. I think I went, I'd love Scott Carson's last couple of years.
but
I
then
mean,
that's a good example of he's obviously towards the latter stages of his career.
mm,
He he knows that he's probably 95% sure he's not going to play any
mm.
games, but he's part and parcel of the squad. He's in and around it every day.
Lot of
Uh,
experience and stuff,
a
yeah.
lot of experience, and as I said before, most of us, I'd say 90% of us, started playing football or play football because we love it, and that just shows like he's happy training. He still loves
Yeah,
training
he's in the
and loves
ground.
being part of it.
He's in the training ground where well, not that one obviously, but
Yeah,
going in every day and playing football essentially,
yeah.
and still, and I was going fit as a fiddle. That's that's the bit I have to admit. I was like, he goes in and goes, if I train today, I keep this body for another year. I keep this
that
lovely,
that could be
lovely.
part of it as well. He just
Yeah.
he just delaying the kind of I
He,
don't want to call
he,
it a dad bod, the
yeah,
retirement
well,
bod.
yeah, I was right. Scott Carson, lovely man, I'm sure. I was trying to work out whether he was one of our players who might balloon
You'll have
after
to,
retire.
I don't know him. I don't know him as a person,
We can't get him on the pod just to ask him that, can we? When
just get
Scott,
Kalvin to voice note him.
yeah, Calvin, can you quickly ask Scott Carson if he thinks he'll lose his body? Like someone like Calvin Phillips is clearly world class
Yeah.
and and will be again. But what do you think? Someone like knowing him, what do you think he needs at the moment? And is it something like coming into your environment, which I think I would flourish in?
Do you know what? I think for Calv, obviously, he went to City. It's been training with all of like top players, which will bring on your level no matter what. Just training with them day in day
Yeah,
out. But there is a big difference from training every day and playing like a few minutes here and there to actually playing matches match after match. And so I think that like unfortunately for Calv, he's gone to West Ham with like I guess he's not got the match sharpness yet, and because he's
right.
gone mid season, it's one of them where you're almost playing catch up.
Yeah,
So like this again is like social media is horrible because it's unfair on him because he doesn't just go from being the top player and winning
no,
England's
no,
Player of the Year to then all of a sudden not being good enough to play
no.
for any team in the Prem. But feel like all that Calv next season he gets a good preseason, whatever he does, whichever team, as long as he starts playing and gets a run of games, you'll see the best of Calv
What
again.
this is probably a stupid question, but what is it? What is it that you get on a Saturday? Because you're still playing a lot of football. Is it just the intensity is so much more? Because even in training, you're not trying to go through each other. Is it just the intensity of the game that
I think,
is?
yeah. So there's the intensity side of it, but then also in training, it's rare that you'd do a full pitch 11v11 for 90 minutes where you getting used. It's just the use of the getting used to the spaces and being pressed and people around you and just being it because it comes natural. It's like when you're out injured for a while. Like for me as a striker, this is kind of an easy example to give. So when I came back from injury,
Mm,
like last season or whenever it was, um, like I would be saying I'm receiving the ball or whatever, I would just forget that, like, the player behind me, you need a few games to get used to kind of you getting your body in and just where people are on the pitch, if you know what I mean. It's just,
Yeah.
but it doesn't take long. But
Is it reminding you of your instincts almost? Like, you know what I mean? Like going, oh yeah, when that happens, I do that. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
kind
It's
of,
like
and
you're
it
forgetting.
is literally just the speed of thought, which obviously is, I guess that's what they refer to as match sharpness.
Right. Okay. So it's just like it's the lack of match sharpness, and oh, it's quite interesting. You say, look, coming in, I guess 2/3 of the way through the season.
Yeah,
There's so much that I guess he isn't. He is, yeah, he's sort of behind the curve on. We play like this, so he's he's getting match sharpness and getting used to the way a new team plays. So
yeah,
it's too much for anyone to kind of, I
yeah.
guess,
I mean,
sort of hit the
it's
ground
hard, and
running.
like to go into any new team, I'd say during that January transfer window is tough, but it's slightly easier if you've been playing the whole half or that whole half of
Uh,
the season beforehand.
And do you think the manager David Moyes will know that he'll go?
Yeah, I
This
mean,
is why. Yeah.
look, he's managed for God knows how many years,
Mm.
and he'll have seen it before and he'll know exactly. And I'm sure, like, he'll still have a part to play. It's just unfortunate, really, that he's been kind of thrown in at the deep end. And I guess you know the first game, I think he made one mistake in the first game, and
Oh yeah.
ultimately, you know what fans are like.
Well, it's a spotlight thing as well, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like I was thinking of like Kobbie Mainoo now. Like
Yeah,
now, I hate saying it, but I'm like now we've got to put this spotlight on him, and you go, oh shit, can we get the spots off him so
yeah,
he can just make mistakes and like be 18 and like not quite nail everything because that's what we're doing again. Do you know what I mean? We're going, oh great, he can't now make a mistake. Otherwise, we'll go, oh, he's not as good as we thought he was, or something. You
yeah.
know what I
It's
mean? He's gonna
tear
have
him
a
down.
yeah. It's like we want to make these. You know, as an England supporter, you go, especially I go, come on, let's give them a chance to be brilliant rather than before they've had a chance gone, oh, sort of pissed off with people
It's
judging me.
I don't know whether because of social media I've noticed it more, but I feel like the the human tendency is to be negative rather than positive.
Oh, just a bit. Well,
So
it's a cesspit that what do you call it? A
literally,
X or whatever it is now. It's like
and I feel like they just get like players on one mistake, they're getting slaughtered. Uh,
yeah.
And it doesn't, yeah, it
Well,
creates a narrative, doesn't it? And then,
well, it's also I think the thing I like to like say a lot is I've realised and also with comedy is like we don't play football every day and we're not professional footballers but we think we know it all. That's the problem. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's the same with like comedy. As I've heard, you know, people I know and everything say like really idiotic things, and you go, well, but with a lot of kind of confidence, and you're like,
yeah,
well, no,
yeah,
no. But you just have to sort of take it, and you go, oh, well, yeah, we can all play football, and we all think, and every you know, comedy, everyone thinks they know no one thinks they've got a terrible sense of humour or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And so you're left going, oh, okay, we'll just have to deal with the fact that you don't know anything and you're going to shout very loud. Great.
yeah.
Good
But
night.
to be fair, at least in comedy, you can give them a bit back, can't you? And just pass it off as one of your jokes.
Yeah,
Just
it's
hammer
true.
them.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I guess unless you're on telly and you're shouting through the telly.
Yeah.
Go, this might not be for you. Doesn't mean it's shit.